Hi, George here, and I want to show you how you can easily up-res a low-quality video up to 4K using the Aiarty Video Enhancer. Now, as people begin to watch more YouTube on TVs and even watch higher resolution videos on YouTube, the ability to have a video in 4K is becoming more and more useful for video creators. And if you have a large library of video, there's a good chance that your video is going to be in lower resolution, and you want to have that up-res to 4K. Now, you can do that before or after your editing process. That's up to you. But an easy way to handle that is with today's sponsor, Aiarty, and their Video Enhancer. Okay, let's take a look at this example right here. Now, the first thing you need to do is to get these settings adjusted where you want them. And it's over here, right-hand side. We'll start off with just this top section right here. You can choose your AI model. I tend to use the mode detail most of the time. If you have an image with large skies, things like that, then you may want to consider the smooth version here to help smooth out those sky areas. Or you can go all the way with super video if you have a real low light level or low contrast video clip. You can adjust the strength right here of the video. By default, this is starting off with a strength of 1. And right here we have the upscale option. This is where you choose the resolution that you're going for. Notice here the size is listed on the right-hand side. 720p is 1280 by 720, 1080p. Then we have 2K and 4K. We're talking about 4K in this video, so let's put this to 4K. I'm going to use the mouse wheel just to scroll back out of that video there. There we go. You can adjust the strength, but I would recommend doing this after we do our preview down below here. There's a step mode which can significantly improve image quality, but it's going to slow things down. And there's a turbo mode right here, which can make for faster processing, but there will be a slight quality trade-off. So I think if you're going for your 4K, you probably want that high quality, so I'll leave that turbo mode unchecked. Now, one thing about the Aiarty Video Enhancer is that this runs on your computer and not on an online server. The main benefit is that it's secure on your system. You're not going to be uploading your video where you have no control over it. Very good if there are copyright concerns. Very good if there are privacy concerns. Maybe you're doing wedding videos, for instance, and you want to keep your client's video contained on your system and not up online anyplace. This is a great product for that. Edit section color, from interpolation, all of this stuff down here. I recommend looking at this after we generate the preview. And they call it the AI inference. And what this does is it runs your settings in here on one frame of video. So if there's a lot of movement in your video, then come down here, grab the playhead, and then find a good frame where you can really judge the results easily from that one frame. Click on Preview. Is then going to load the AI model if necessary, and then run that inference, which is basically running the whole system over here on that single frame. Now, one of the key benefits of the Aiarty Video Enhancer is its price point. And that's because this is a single pay program. You buy it once and then you have that for life. It's not a subscription like a lot of other programs. The Topaz Video AI, that's a subscription. So those can cost a lot and they continue to cost every single year. Whereas again, you purchase the Aiarty Video Enhancer, one payment and you're good. Okay, there's the inference. And as you can see, it looks very nice. If you look at the ear over here, it's very blurry right in this area here. Cleaned up right over here. Look at the eyes, kind of blurry over here, and it's cleaned up over here. One thing I like about Aiarty is that their AI understands focal depth. So for instance, the paw over here is out of focus because it's out of the focal range for this particular photograph, and the AI kept that in there. So it understands that this should be out of focus because of where it's sitting in the shot. So it really understands that focal depth, which is great. Now at this point, once you have run that inference, we can then take a look at our edit right down in here. Just some basic stuff. You can flip and rotate, you can crop, things like that. In this case, this doesn't need any editing. It's just fine. We also have color options down here. You can adjust your temperature and tint, exposure, contrast, saturation, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. If the color has been pushed away from what it was originally, which sometimes can happen, you can restore color right down here. Just move your slider over and it will then bring things back towards the original. So what this does is it takes out this part of the adjustments if AI put any of that in with the slider control right there. Most of the time, I think just leaving that down at 0 will be what you want to do anyway. And this video doesn't need any adjustments, so I'll just leave that one alone. We're not going to be changing the frame rate in here, but you could. Let's say go to a slow motion right here. And with slow motion, the Aiarty Video Enhancer will actually come in and create new frames in between the existing frames to slow things down. And using the AI, it's going to be seamless, be absolutely beautiful. But I don't want that either, so I'll just uncheck that. There we go. You also can come down here and use SDR to HDR, and you can come in and work on denoising your audio. I don't need that right now. I'm not working with any audio on this particular clip. So once you have your settings where you want them, we can back up here and just take a look at the strength again. This is full strength, full AI. This looks perfect to me. But if I was a little unhappy, if it looked a little too clean or maybe looked a little too plasticky sometimes, you can back off on how much of the AI is going to be applied. So you have some adjustment in here on that as well. Again, for this one, I think that's perfect. I'll just put that back to full strength. Now I can click on Add Task, and it brings this video as a task right down here. And the reason why you would want to do this is if you want to do several different video clips and then batch export those. If I didn't batch export those, I could just hit Export Current. This will pop up again, and it'll then begin to work on the export. On the left-hand side over here, we have the original information. And right-hand side, this is the output. This is the new information in here. This is the new settings. It's going to 4K right there. I'm using the mode detail. Again, we have these other options in here. I could go for a smooth or a super video, but I think on this video, mode detail is the way to go. If I wanted to change these settings in here, just click on Modify. I can then come up here, make adjustments, color edit, whatever, and then click Apply and apply those adjustments to this clip. Now, when you're ready to go ahead and produce your video, if you're happy with this look, just click on Export Current. Or again, if you have several clips, click Batch Export. Now to check your export settings, that's this little double arrow right here. We have two formats, MP4 and MOV for the Mac. We can choose the video codec in here if you want to change that codec and the audio. I'll be leaving these at the defaults, which in most cases is exactly what you want. And you can choose to export to the original folder, which is what I'll be doing. Or I can choose a new path right down here. And when you hit export, it'll be going through the whole clip frame by frame. How fast this happens will depend entirely on how fast your computer is and how up-to-date your video card is. Again, my video card is more of a gaming card, not really a high-end video card. So it takes a while for a video clip on this particular computer. Now, if you need to stop this process at any point, just click on the stop button, and you can then leave this in your batch if you want to. And once it's finished, we can then compare the original to the 4K version of this video clip. Okay, here's the original version of this clip. And then here is the up-res version. Real nice hair, very sharp on the eyes, very sharp on the ear over here. And it all looks absolutely perfect. Now let's say you wanted to do a second video clip. Easy to do. Over here where it says import, click on that import button and it's bringing in another clip. I'll just grab this one right here. This one's real low light level and the color is really off on this one. This needs a lot of work. We're going to be going for our 4K again right there. So we're always going to the same setting. I'll use my scroll wheel to scroll that back out again. Like that's good. Okay, click on preview. Let that go ahead and run the inference. Okay, there's our inference. It's looking pretty good. Notice that it has cleaned the face up a little bit in here as well. It's looking a little bit soft right in here or over in here. Let's see if we can minimize some of the blurring down here by pulling back on the strength a little bit. I'll pull it down halfway. And again, since I changed the setting, we have to do a new inference. Go ahead and click on preview for that. And that helped a lot down there. So let's go ahead now and take a look at color. Open our color section up and see if we can improve this a bit. Now, it's pretty obvious that we're quite a bit too pink in here. So I'm going to pull the tint back away from the pink just a little bit. Get us closer to more normal coloration. That's, I think, better. Maybe a little bit more yellow, just a touch in there. It's a bit better right there. Now, this is just eyeballing things. I think that improves it. If you want to get back to the original setting, just hit that refresh button right there and you can get back very easily. I'll bring those settings back in again. You can adjust the exposure right here. Notice that these work in real time. With a little lighter exposure, maybe a little more contrast there, a little more saturation, but not too much on the saturation. It's already pretty saturated actually. And I'll usually work down each one of these and just go back and forth and try to narrow in on what I want for my look. Notice each time I make an adjustment in here, I get a refresh button over the right-hand side for that specific adjustment, or the whole thing again at the top. Let's check our shadows and the whites. Just little tweaks, and I think that looks a lot better now. Maybe a little bit more contrast. Let's see. I think that helps right there. You can show or hide the color section right here by clicking on that plus sign or the minus sign. All those settings are good. I'm just going to add this task, and I now have two tasks down here. Hit that plus sign again. Another video here with a lot of grain and noise in the sky up here. Now, this is where you may want to be using the smoothing settings. Let's go over here to smooth. And again, we want to go for that 4K. That's what we're doing here. There's our 4K. Use the scroll wheel to back out a little bit like that. If I zoom in, you can really see the amount of noise in there on this. There's really a lot of noise on this particular video clip. Let's hit that preview and get the inference. Again, this is just a single frame from the video, but it gives us a good example of what this is going to do when it does the final rendering. And we'll let this go ahead and finish that inference. And the inference is done. And notice how much nicer the sky looks. It's removed all of that grain effect, giving us a real nice, smooth look, along with that 4K upres at the same time. Now, I don't think this needs any adjustments on the color in here. I'll leave that as is. Click on Add Task, and it brings it down here. If you have several tasks down below, you can scroll down here and see all of your available tasks. Notice the one that is currently in the window has a blue outline around it. If I came down here to the first one, click on this, it brings this task back up in the window. If I wanted to, I could do a new preview on this, although it's all set to go. But if I wanted to make adjustments, I just do a new preview. And at this point, I can go ahead and export the current. That's the one that's currently shown right here. Or if I clicked on Batch Export, then all three would be exported in sequence. Try the Video Enhancer out yourself. There's a free download to give it a shot. And I'll put a link for this at the top of the description, so make sure you go ahead and give that a try. No cost to see if it works for you. If you found this video useful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.